Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. It is a absolutely beautiful morning, y'all, and we got to get these chickens moved, and so we're gonna do that first. But we got a real busy day ahead of us. Got a couple of coolish days ahead in the forecast, but me and Andy were just talking about it. I think we're gonna plant a little garden today. So, anyways, y'all come along with us, and I hope y'all enjoy. Well, y'all, I know I said just a few minutes ago that we were going to be getting some garden work done today. Well, we've had a little change of plans. We got to talking about it. We've got a couple nights within the next 4 or 5 days that at nighttime it's going to be down in the 40s, which is not terrible, but plants ain't going to grow when it's that cool anyway. So we've decided we think we're going to work on our new chicken tractor today and see if we can't cut down on some of these chickens. Just is what it is, y'all. And want to cut down to about 10 or 12 chickens, get rid of the rest of these chickens, get rid of that big old house. That way they're easier to move. They're not killing spots, under the house because of so much chicken manure. Because we're only able to move them. I can't move them without Andy. I just can't. And so we're only able to move them once a week on the weekends, and it's just not enough. So I think we're going to work on that this morning. Depending on what time we kind of get that stuff pretty squared away, we may do some garden work. We'll just have to see what we get into.
Do we all to get in?
Ain't it sweet?
Wow. This one's called Little Tom. And he loves hanging on you, so you have to pick it up.
So like Megan said earlier, we've had a complete change of plans this morning. We did look at the future forecast, and we have one cold night coming up next week. It's down in the low 40s, but we decided to just go ahead and possibly hold off on the gardening. Who knows? We might get into that later this evening. But we're going to work on this chicken tractor, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just winging it, just throwing this thing together. So there's not going to be a lot of instruction or detail or anything like that going on. Y'all can just watch me or watch us piece something together. But I can tell you that I think I'm going to be the first one you've ever seen on YouTube build it out of rough cut lumber. And I'm using, for my runners, it's going to be exposed to the elements. I'm using oak boards instead of the pine because oak's a little more rot resistant. So I've already got one cut right there. I'm working on this one. And then we've got several 2x4s on here and still down at where my lumber's at. And those, y'all actually saw us mill up, I don't know, probably a month or two ago. And so I'm a little worried it's going to be a little bit on the heavy side, being that we're using rough cut lumber. Rough cut lumber does weigh quite a bit more than store-bought conventional lumber. So I'm just going to see how that goes. We've got lumber. There's no sense in buying lumber. let's see what happens with it. So during this process, y'all are going to see me continually look at my phone. I'm not goofing off looking at anything. I'm looking at the plans for this chicken tractor. I've got them pulled up here on my phone. I'm probably not going to make it exactly like what the Justin Rhodes style tractors, but I'm at least going off the basic design of what he's got. And we're making one of his small ones. Well, here's what we got so far. It don't look like much, but we need to put another tack in it right there. So you can see this is going to be the bottom floor frame of the chicken tractor. We're going to put a bolt through the bottom piece of this right here to mount these wheels to. They'll be mounted like that right there. And the chicken house itself, the chicken coop part, will be on this square right here, and then we have chicken wire down for the floor. And we're hoping that the manure and stuff falls through that floor. However, I'm a little bit leery of that. I don't think it's going to fall through, so we'll probably end up having to clean it out. But you know, it'll be okay. And then we're going to have like a bar right across here on this end that will be able to pick it up and move it. So the chicken coop itself is only going to sit about 2 foot tall. And it'll just be a place for them to go up and roost at night. And we're only going to have, what, 10 chickens? So if any of y'all don't watch Justin Rhodes, if you looked up his chicken tractor deal, that's what we're after making here. This is a new one on me though, so we're going to see how this all works out when we get it done.
You've done a fine job.
I got to run to the hardware store and get a couple of bolts to use for our axles. And I got to get up there before they close. So we'll run on up there and get that, and we'll get back to work on this, I guess, after we eat lunch.
close look of how far we've got. So the concept is, this will be the back. They'll have their little door here that they come out of. They'll lay their eggs in the milk crates, and we'll pick this up and pull it.
You just walk in here. Obviously, I'll have all this boxed in. Walk in here, pull your milk crate out, get your eggs out. We'll have to cut the fronts out of the milk crate so the chicken can get in. Make it easier for the chicken to get in. And then, of course, 10 across the top. We've got 10 that's going to go right down the sides. And they'll be out there pulling around by hand like this right here.
Yep.
So far, it's not got that heavy yet either. But I'm afraid once we put the 10 on it, it's probably going to get pretty heavy.
Them wheels help a lot, though.
Yeah, and we've got everything balanced right over top of the wheels. So the wheels are carrying most of the weight.
And I know people are going to ask, because they've asked in the comments time and time again, why in the world are we going to go through this much trouble of moving our chickens instead of just building a chicken coop, letting them loose, letting them free range, or leaving them in the coop? Well, number one, if we left them in the coop, we'd have to have a way to get a lot more wood chips than what we could get now, because my chickens ain't going to be standing in no mud. And number two, if we let them free range, y'all, all this pretty mulch you see us put around our trees, all our nice garden out here and stuff, every bit of it will be dug up. We've been there and done that, ain't we, dear?
It would be a mess.
We have been there and done that. That's why we're going through the trouble of doing this before we cut down on our chickens. This is a better option for us to move the chickens around the pasture, let them continue to fertilize our pasture, because except for underneath the house where we have all that manure around in those circles, I mean, it really does help the grass. That's some nice fertilizer there. And so with us cutting down to 10 or 12.
This will also be small enough that we have the net set up. We can go in there and move it
Inside
once a day inside the net. Whereas right now, our big coop, it's having to stay in the same place all through the week. And so you get this big load of chicken manure right up under it. And so you get a dead spot in the grass. And this will also fix it to where if I'm having to work or whatever, Megan will be able to go move the chickens by herself if she needs to.
That's right.
You know, it'll just be easier on everybody all the way around. We won't have to have the side-by-side out there moving the coop around. You know, it's just, unless we're taking a long move, you know, from one end of the pasture to the other, we're not going to have any kind of mechanical vehicle or whatever there to move the coop.
And for us, around 10 or 12 chickens, that'll be a plenty of eggs. We may be hurting a little bit in the wintertime. If we are, we just are.
Well, imagine how that's going to do on our feed bill.
Yes.
We can probably feed 10 or 12 chickens off of our scraps.
Yeah.
You know, we split scraps between pigs and chickens. Mm-hmm. We probably wouldn't have to buy near as much feed as what we are now.
That's right. So that's the reason we're doing this here, and we're just going to keep on and keeping on. We're kind of at a standstill. We need one more milk crate, but other than that, I mean, we're still going to do, I think, the side and the back.
I think I'm going to have to space these wheels out a little more too, because I don't have enough room, especially on the other side's a little farther away. But on this one, I'm going to have to put me some more washers in between the wheel and where it bolts up down there to space it out, because the 10, there's not going to be enough room between there for the 10 and the wheel.
That's right.
And yeah, I think it's going to be all right.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
That's right. And you can see now, this maybe will give you a better idea of why, like this is going to be out in the weather all the time, so this is why we use the oak wood on this part. Whereas this is going to have tin over it, and, you know, it's going to be protected from the weather for the most part. It won't be completely protected, but it'll be protected more than this is. And we've already seen how long this pine lasts when it's exposed to the weather, because we used some down there on our big chicken coop. And how long has that one been out now? 3, 4 years? 4 years probably?
4 years, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, at least 4 years. And there's some pieces on it that are completely rotten. So this right here, you know, we wouldn't get long out of it if I'd have built the main frame. Now, I mean, we may not get long out of the oak either, but I do know that oak is a lot more rot resistant than pine, so that's something we'll just have to find out on our own, I guess.
Yep.
Our raised beds are made out of oak, and so far they're holding up good. Well, I think we've got about as far as we're going to get on it today. It's now 4 o'clock. It's time to move on to something else. But no, honestly, in all honesty, we're at a standstill, sort of. I've still got to make the back door, which I could do that. But I want to get another milk crate just so we can make sure everything's going to fit in here right. We're going to put 4 milk crates up front here. And when you go get your eggs, you know, I'll have a piece of tin across here too, but when you go get your eggs, you'll just pull the milk crate out, grab your eggs back, set them back in there. And we put them a little roosting pole in there. I don't know that they'll need it, but I felt bad not having a roosting pole in there for them. And then the little small opening back there is going to be the door. And it will serve as a ramp as well. So like, you know, it'll be covering this whole area. And when you fold it down, it'll be like a makeshift ramp. And then this will be covered in tin. And I'm curious to see how heavy it gets when you put 10 or 15 chickens in it. I think we may be able to tell they're in there, but right now, you know, surprisingly, I know it's not got all the metal on it yet, but surprisingly, it's still fairly light.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I could even.
Yeah, get over here and show.
But this is the way I plan. This is the way I plan to move it anyway. I'm gonna be like a horse, pulling a buggy. But it's not. I mean, like you can see, like even one, like I mean.
Well, it's balanced because we have all the wheels sitting right in the center of the little building part.
This is how I plan to move it, like this.
And I think it's gonna work good.
But even moving it like that, and I'm going uphill right there, and it's not. It ain't bad. So I think you've got it balanced just right back there.
But I'm also thinking about these milk crates. I think I need to build, I'm gonna put a piece of wood right across the back there just so they have something to bump up against when we slide them in. So that way, you know, you don't slide them too far.
Right, right. Well, I'm excited.
And I may even put a strip right across there to hold them in, and then when you go to lift them out, you just pick it up right over the strip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you're moving it. So they would have like just a small board right across here to just hold them there so they don't just fall out. And then we would leave enough of a gap up here that you would just do that to get them out.
And so, and we're not going to be too concerned with predators with this because they will still be in the electric netting. We're still going to keep our 2 guineas. So I'm not too terribly concerned as far as predators go. So. And
once we got the main frame right here built, we kind of like completely veered away from Justin Rhodes' plans. I just went to it on my own and made it kind of how I saw it needed to be made. So, you know, this is, from here up, is about completely different than what the one he had made.
That's Lawson engineering.
I guess. I just hate reading plans. I would just assume throw stuff together and do it as I go. I don't know. I'm not a plan reading kind of person. I could never make an engineer or nothing like that.
Like he said, we're going to call it quits for today, but stick around. We'll bring you some stuff.
First thing in the morning.
Yep. First thing in the morning. We got some stuff going on then too. So it's the next day. The weather has completely changed. It is cold and it is rainy, and actually looking at the future forecast, we're really glad we didn't decide to plant garden yesterday because we're going to have one night coming up that's going to be like 38. So
cold.
Yeah, so we're glad we decided against that and just went ahead and worked on that chicken thing. But now we are going up Mom and Daddy's. Daddy's gonna let us borrow a bull for a couple of months, and that way what happened last time is not gonna happen this time. And we went, what, 2 years without a calf?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not gonna do that again. We're trying to be ahead of the game. So we're gonna hook up to the cow trailer, and we're gonna go have some lunch with Mom and Daddy before we load up that bull. And we got the whole crowd with us. The whole family, including
even the dog.
That one.
What?
Since it rolled when you cut it off, it got perfect.
It's so cold out here this morning.
She won't go nowhere.
It's a bull.
Mm-hmm. No, you better not come out that hole right there. You can, can't you? It's thinking about it.
All right, shut that gate. I'm gonna let them out.
It's their lucky day to get back out on the grass again. They've been put up now for about a week. We took them back off the grass for about a week. So we're gonna leave them in this pasture here with the new bull for the rest of the day. And then, what, tomorrow morning you'll move them back to the far end, right?
I'll try.
All right. Well, let's let this bull out.
Now you let the walk go. Let the walk go.
Coming out of there.
The gate's open.
Bigger than he is. Boy, they glad to get on that grass again, ain't they?
Yeah. Yeah, that bull don't care nothing about it. He said, shoot, I got something good to eat.
Right now, he's after to eating. There must not be none of them in heat.
It should be soon, though. It's been 2 or 3 weeks, so.
Has it?
So we choose to breed our jerseys to Black Angus bulls. That's what my daddy's got. But not only that reason, because most Black Angus have low birth weight calves, and that is a low birth weight bull there. And plus, he's real young, so he's on the smaller side. My cows are very small framed. Last year we had a young bull like that, and he got the job done, so hopefully this one will too.
Well, and not only that, the Black Angus mixed with the Jersey is a really good combination too, because your babies that's gonna come off there are getting all that milk that the cow's producing, but yet they have enough beef cow in them to grow faster than what a purebred dairy
like that
cow
pretty
would.
little fellow right there.
Yeah, I like that one right there. Now, I'm telling you what, he is a pretty steer. He's definitely got some Jersey in him. You can tell it. But, you know, he's built more like a Black Angus than he is a Jersey. Now, the little heifer right here, on the other hand, she almost looks like a full-blooded Jersey. But, to me, I think it makes a really good combination.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, Black Angus bulls are usually, depending on the bull, but are usually well-mannered cows. Like where if we had a Jersey bull up here, they're a mean bull.
I think they're like the most dangerous bull. Like,
Yeah, and I don't want one of them things around. I ain't got no use for nothing like that. And last but not least, Black Angus bulls are readily available around here.
That's right. That's right. Everybody seems unfazed by the new member of the
They really
family.
don't care. I can't believe it.
He don't even care.
Well, he's been put up in the stall all morning and ain't had nothing to eat. So
Well, that's true.
he's out here now on some fresh green grass, and that's all he's at. He seems more interested in the Black Star down there than any of them.
These two right here crack me up. Tiger and Cookie are BFFs. Cookie absolutely loves Tiger. Watch her. She left you, didn't she? Are you glad to be out, old man? Well, y'all, it's nearing the end of the day. We're gonna walk back down here and check on him just one more time. He came up to eat this evening when I was milking, and been running around with his lips stuck up in the air. So that's a good sign. That means he has officially said that these are his girlfriends.
Yep.
So that's exactly what you want. But while we're walking down here, we wanted to show you something real quick. You've heard us talk about this random peach tree that came up in our pasture, and we just want to show it to you.
So all of this is a brush pile of stuff that's either been cut here or stuff I've took off of job sites, bring it here and dump it, and you know, every year or two we'll burn it to do away with it. But this peach tree showed up in the middle of it last year, and this is a 2-year-old peach tree. Look at this, y'all.
It's huge.
It is huge. So this year I got in here with the excavator and pushed all the junk out from around it, and I kind of actually may have pushed a little bit too deep, but anyways, it don't seem like it bothered it. But look, it's even got peaches on it. Now it doesn't have many, but there's a few in there, right there and there and there.
Oh, some up there at the top.
Yeah, there is some up there at the top. It's not loaded, but I'm interested to see how good these peaches do, or if they even make anything. That'd be real interesting.
Now, what do they say? They won't. It might make fruit, but they may not be edible if it's not off.
Well, they'll be edible. They might not be good fruit when it
okay.
comes from a seed. You just don't know how the peaches are going to turn out.
I got
They
you.
may be good, big, huge peaches. They may be just old scrawny, sorry peaches.
I got you.
And if this peach tree does good, we may try to relocate it.
Probably should.
Yeah, we probably should. I mean, it really don't need to be out here in the middle of the pasture anyways, especially where I dump all my brush. And like I said, I about dug it up down here. So we uncovered a little bit too many roots when I pushed around it. But anyways, let's go check on this bull. They all just down here hanging out in the woods.
I know.
Why is she standing in the chicken tractor?
This is why the chicken tractor is tore up and we need to just get it out of the pasture.
We do. I guess we should just take the rest of the tin off and just go ahead and use that tin on this new thing we've built.
What are you doing?
Why are you in there? Crazy cow.
Hey, Cookie.
Is she gonna play with you? Is this why you stay in the pasture all the time? I want to see you get after that bull like that.
Look. Look at my old man. He said, what are you doing?
What are you doing, Clyde? You need a brush.
We have been brushing them. It's just
Yeah.
that time of year.
Oh, yeah, where they're shedding.
Yeah. Here, baby. Here, I got you something.
Him and Black Star's down here falling in love with each other.
Are they? But he's took right to the cows, and so hopefully he'll stick around and not skip the country.
Now he's gonna run from us.
Yep. He said, I don't like being on the camera.
He's bulldozing through the woods.
But anyways, guys, I hope y'all really enjoyed today's video. I know it was something a little different than the normal, but guys, like we've told y'all before, what we show y'all is just real life. It's just what we're doing.
Well,
and
I tell you what, it may not look like it on the videos, but we've had a very busy past few days.
yes, we have. Absolutely.
It
Very
has
busy.
been wide open.
But anyways, guys, hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and until we see y'all on the next one, y'all have a good one.
Have a good one, y'all.